If you feel like your paycheck is disappearing before it even hits your bank account, you're not alone. For many of us, the biggest drain on our freedom isn't our spending habits, it's our zip code.
We spent years living north of San Francisco. It was beautiful, but the cost of maintaining that life was stealing our peace. We were house rich, but time poor.
That is when we discovered a concept that sounds technical, but it is actually the ultimate tool for freedom: geographic arbitrage.
Whether you are rebuilding from scratch or just tired of treading water, you don't have time for slow growth. You need a strategy that can quickly catch you up, and this might be it.
Let's start with the definition. A simple way to look at it is geographic arbitrage is taking advantage of the difference in the cost of living between two locations. It is the real estate version of selling high and buying low. You cash out of an expensive zip code, move to an affordable one, and keep the difference to fund your future. But there is more to it than just that. You can't just chase cheap real estate. You need to identify several hidden factors that we will cover in a minute that can have huge impacts on your life moving forward. For us, it meant selling our home in that expensive market we were living in and moving to a place where our money had more room to breathe.
Think of it as a reset button. You're trading a high-cost lifestyle for a high-quality life. Now, it isn't about moving to the middle of nowhere. It's about finding a location that actually aligns with your financial goals and your personal values.
Now, when we looked at the numbers, we realized that by staying where we were working too hard just to stay afloat. By moving to the inland northwest, we were able to lower our expenses and start doing more of the activities we love, like camping, cycling, boating, and hiking. Most people only look at their mortgage payment, but the cost of living in a high-priced area goes much deeper. You have to consider property taxes, insurance, and the status trap that happens when your environment dictates your spending.
I recall wondering if we would ever get a house that we both loved and could live a life we truly enjoyed. We weren't building wealth, we were just maintaining a situation that didn't provide any real peace. But after taking the factors that we're going to go over into account, we realized that we weren't stepping back, we were stepping into our bigger life. And that clarity enabled us to start looking at the actual logistics of where we wanted to start our next chapter at.
So, how do you know if moving is right for you? You need a clear plan to evaluate your options. You need to find the right fit for your retirement down the road.
We suggest looking at 4 specific factors when you start researching.
The first is housing equity. You want to compare what you can get for your current home versus the price of a home in the new area. For us, we found we could move into a larger home while still lowering our overall costs.
Second, look for tax-friendly states. Some states, like here in Washington, have no income tax. That is a massive boost if you're looking to retire on Social Security or on modest savings down the road.
Third, look at lifestyle activities. Can you still do the things you love? We told our realtor what we love to do. We told her how much we love being close to nature and the trees, that we are active people who love camping, and that we needed a great place to walk our dog. Don't move somewhere cheap if it makes you miserable.
And finally, consider your family. You have to think about how close you need to stay to them or how easy it will be for everyone to visit. Building a new life is wonderful, but staying connected is part of the structure too.
There is one more crucial tip. Before Donna agreed to move to Spokane, we met with our realtor a full year ahead of time.
And I looked at houses in the winter. Even though we didn't plan it that way, it turned out to be a great idea. Since we had never lived where it snowed, we needed to see the reality. Were the streets plowed? Would we enjoy the snow? It turns out we loved the snow.
Most people buy the postcard version of a city. You have to be willing to live in the reality of it.
We weren't looking for a status symbol. We were looking for a life transformation. By focusing on our goals rather than what a neighborhood was supposed to look like, we found a home that actually fits who we are. We realized that a successful move is one that gives you peace and aligns with your actual plans for the future.
Now, if geographic arbitrage sounds interesting to you, here are some things to consider to ensure it is the right fit for your future. First, calculate your equity. You need to know exactly how much cash you would walk away with after selling. That's your true budget.
Next, check the job market. If you aren't retired yet, can you work there? When we moved, I transitioned into higher education. Even though the salary was different, our cost of living dropped so much that we actually felt richer.
And finally, analyze the lifestyle. List your top 5 hobbies and make sure the new area supports them. This is about making the math work for your life.
You can't just wing a move like this. You need a solid structure to follow. Many people talk about moving someday, but without a timeline and a strategy, someday never comes. We made a plan to navigate our move from the moment we called the realtor all the way to the day we unpacked our last box in Washington. It wasn't always easy, but having that clarity kept us moving forward.
This is exactly why we teach the Master Blueprint Experience. It provides the framework for these big life decisions so you aren't guessing, you are executing.
Starting over at 50 is terrifying. Leaving your community is hard. That was the hardest part for me.
But the rebuild isn't just about your bank account. It's about your spirit. Geographic arbitrage was a tool that gave us the breathing room to focus on what really matters.
So should you move? Only you can answer that. But if your location is a primary obstacle to your freedom, it might be time to pack those boxes.
Remember, you don't need millions to retire. In fact, if you missed our video on why the $2.5 million number is a lie, you need to watch that next. Relocating was one of the best decisions we ever made, but it was just one part of the strategy.
If you want to see the exact system we used to gain this clarity, check out the link to our Master Blueprint Experience in the description below.
Go ahead and click on that video on the screen now to see why you don't need that $2.5 million, and we'll see you there.